item 2, since this is a late edition, this is what most of the folks are here for, what our advertised agenda is about.
Well, I guess in thinking about this, the results from this discussion may actually have some bearing on the results for the petition to reclassify the city. So I don't know if maybe having this first might actually be beneficial.
I've got actually quite a few questions to ask about the petition, the initiative that's been turned in by our constituents. So I'd like to get a bunch of that resolved before we even delve into the fluoride issue.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Brad, I'm sorry that I should and would want now again to, you can hear, did you hear my presentation?
I did. I'm away from town, and your proposal is catching me by surprise.
I'm sorry, I tried to call you and I was provided the wrong number.
Okay. Well, I would like us to not consider it tonight. If you wish to have this considered, can we do it at the next meeting instead of this meeting, so I have time to consider what you're suggesting before you're asking me to decide what to do about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad. Any further comments?
This is so important. I would concur with
I again would support this for item number 2, I2. And I would actually caution the mayor about the chain of command of exactly how many people you are talking to, because that does constitute a public meeting and that would require advertising.
So I'd be happy to hear this item. So yeah.
Tonight. Mike?
I'd like to hear the item tonight. I agree with Sissy that it does have bearing in my mind. Either way, I'm okay with hearing it first or second. These folks went through a lot to get the petition to reclassify the city as a second-class city, and still have a lot of questions about that and what that's going to look like. And I also was caught by a little bit of surprise and had spent the last couple of weeks pondering my thoughts about the second-class city change and how I felt about it. It almost feels like throwing 2 weeks of thought out the window if that were to be passed up. But I also believe the city does need to heal. We need to get the fluoride out of the water. I am not for waiting until the next meeting to discuss that. I will be fully in favor of discussing that tonight.
Okay. Brett, yeah.
Well, Mayor, I applaud your attempt to bring healing to the community. I think that as long as there's attempts and movement in that direction and discussion, we all come closer to winning. In regards, I'm not saying winning as in yes or no to fluoride, but winning as a community and our attitudes towards that. I'm happy to discuss this item. If you're looking for a full vote to follow through with what you read, that's a pretty serious thing too, and I think it deserves a little bit more thought than just a couple of minutes of discussion.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
We normally have a process where the agenda for the council and is put in place by Wednesday of the previous week. So by Friday we can pick up and the public and the council are advised of the topics that we're going to discuss and vote on. And, I do so appreciate your concern for our city and your love for our city, and I just think we all are concerned for our town, and I would gladly discuss this, but we haven't really had it hasn't been on our agenda, and it hasn't been published for transparency to the community, and if it's important enough for us to discuss and vote on, we normally have, don't put things on at the last minute without plenty of time for the council, to be prepared and for the public to know what we're going to discuss. So that's been the standard we've set before, so it has nothing to do with, our feelings or our concerns, our willingness, because I certainly am willing to discuss it, but we've had a policy where at the last minute we don't vote on something that we haven't been fully prepared and fully transparent with the community about that we're going to discuss.
Mr. Mayor, council rules of procedure call for a vote from council. If a majority approves this, it shall move forward. My support lies in placing this at I2. I would ask for a vote.
Okay, I haven't heard a second.
Correct. And I guess I wanted to chime in that I was thinking about this, and I too have a ton of questions about the petition to reclassify. But I also know that if the fluoride issue, the reason why we have the petition is because of the fluoride issue. And if we discuss the fluoride issue first, then it changes a little bit. And maybe this is what I want to understand your position.
So what I understand is that once an initiative is turned in,
Right.
there is no other result, then it's only a matter of time before it comes forward to the people. That's the way I understand that. And that's what I want to get to the bottom of this, and that's why I'm hoping that there's a spokesperson that's gonna have a microphone from Our Water, Our Choice that can represent what the intentions were when the petition was written, as well as city staff, our city attorney. So I want to get all that resolved before we go into the fluoride. That's what I was hoping.
Right. Now, if